What's up guys, Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today's video, I'm going to be going over the Raid Digest on 3.7, of course that's today at the time of the recording, and I'm also going to be going over the ARMANZ Fusion as well, the plan, and what we're going to be doing on my free-to-play account when we're going for this Fusion, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so let me bring you over to the ARMANZ Fusion calendar. Actually, I'm going to go over the Raid Digest first, then ARMANZ Fusion calendar. So let's pop it up here for you. So we got to hear, what do we have going on that's new? So, the Raid Digest. Hello Raiders, Festival of Creation is spreading its festive vibes across Teleria and far beyond its borders. Even Bastion changed its usual look and even music to comply with the spirit of the medieval fair. I actually haven't turned on the music in this game in a while, so I wonder what that even sounds like, to be honest. Everyone put their rivalries aside to celebrate the creation of the universe of Teleria. We sincerely invite you to join the celebration. Okay, let's skip that. So we've got Marius progress mission. Clear stage XX of the Iron Twins, so this is going to be an update, it looks like. Many of you have already reached the higher stages of Iron Twins, and it is impressive. That's why we understand entirely that the condition of beating lower stages does not look exciting. So they're going to give us a chance to clear any stage of Iron Twins, but it just has to be a specific affinity. So that's a lot better, playing, because having to go back and clear stage 1 is a pain in the butt. So that's cool, and that's because of everybody drawing attention to it. So that's the player base, that's you guys, that's the content creators. So thank you guys for continuing to talk amongst the community so that we can create impactful changes that will help newer players or existing players in the game. Bosses will be immune to enfeeble, so that stinks. That's a direct nerf to your boy Marius, I think his name is. Let me just go back here really quickly. The missions, I actually really like the new way that they have the system for Arbiter missions, Ramontu missions, and Marius missions. So Marius is going to get a nerf, which stinks, to the enfeeble. Although I think this is a fair nerf though, because it would have made every single boss in the game extremely easy to beat. You would just be able to mollywop them. So if you got Marius early on, which now you can just, I don't know if you have to do, I'm assuming you have to get Arbiter first still, then go here, then go here. I think it's 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if you can just do Arbiter or Ramontu or Marius. I think you have to go in a row, but I could be wrong there. I don't recall reading it anywhere. Again, I could be wrong. So yeah, either way, he's super broken if it was staying like that. And then someone told me this guy has a enemy max HP. What? I actually didn't even notice that. Attacks all enemies, enemy max HP. That changes everything for this guy. This guy is going to be so powerful. This guy's going to be insane. I didn't even notice this. Wow. Has anybody said anything about this yet? The enemy max HP? I don't know. I don't know if I saw anybody say anything about the enemy max HP on this guy, but that is freaking ridiculous, dude. Triple hit, enemy max HP. Each hit decreases the duration of all enemy buffs as well. And it's on a 3-turn cooldown? Sheesh. That's going to be dirty. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's go back here really quickly. So all bosses will become immune to enfeeble because they are bosses after all. Narcissus and Ancora bugs. So White King Narcissus A3 Spirit claim you. Triggers polymorph. As a result, Narcissus gets sheeped from block revive. It's not normal, so they're going to fix that. Polymorph should not trigger the by the block revive. Another bug we'll fix is when Narcissus double hits Hydra with his A2 Desecration. He should not attack twice if there's no shield or strengthen, so that was like a nerf, right? But it's really just a bug, honestly. So if you are seeing tons of extra damage, he's not going to get that extra damage. White Queen Ancora's passive skill doesn't activate by fear debuff properly. Debuff should fill her turn meter in the same way other crowd control debuffs do. All 3 bugs will be fixed in the next release. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So of course, if people were utilizing Queen Ancora in the Hydra, then of course she wasn't actually removing the fears or proccing correctly. So that's going to be a lot better when she does get a buff, or rather just a fix to her kit, which will intentionally, it will just buff her kit in general to where it's supposed to be. So Raid is not available on Facebook Cloud. No one cares about that. CVC tournament, the last but not least, there's the next CVC will not feature personal rewards. Okay, so we're going to move right on to the next one. We're not going to make too many changes here, but yeah, so we've got the Fusion calendar here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it a lot better. Here we go. Boom. Hopefully you guys can see this well on your end. But we've got, for the Fusion calendar, March 7th. Okay. Which is just started, right? Friday, Dragon Tournament coincides with Champ Training. Then we got Summon Rush and Artifact Enhancement event starting on the 8th, which is tomorrow, Friday. At the time of this recording, you may see it on Friday. Saturday, March 9th, we're going to be dipping into Dragon, Champ Training, Summon Rush. Classic Arena will start on March 9th as well. Ice Golem. Where's the Dungeon Divers? All right, so the Dungeon Divers is at the bottom. So you will have the back end of Dragon, or the last 2 days here, coinciding with Dungeon Divers. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I kind of know why. It's to deplete resources, right? And then you have to potentially spend gems to help complete the rest of Dungeon Divers. I guess you can complete Dungeon Divers through Ice Golem, but once you complete Ice Golem, most people don't want to keep putting their energy and resources into Ice Golem for the most part, unless you're just trying to farm for reflex gear. But I guess it's not too bad if you can just do stage 20 of the Spider. I would recommend doing it with Artac and farming just Artac on stage 20 while you're upgrading champions at the same time, since you've got champion training and Dragon Tournament coinciding with the Dungeon Divers. I'll take back what I said. It's actually decent because you're going to have the end of Dragon Tournament hitting Dungeon Divers and the beginning and middle of Ice Golem hitting Dungeon Divers as well. So it's not that bad. But the next Dungeon Divers is Wednesday the 13th. And it's coinciding on the last day of Ice Golem. And then starting up the next day with Fire Knight on the 14th. Champ Training is going to go on at the same time. Where's Spider at? Spider's towards the end with the third Dungeon Divers. Why are they doing so many Dungeon Divers events now? It's so annoying. I'll be completely honest. Dungeon Divers is just getting harder and harder and harder to complete. So you typically have to spend some gems unless you conserved and saved tons and tons of energy on the front end before you even got to this fusion or any fusion in general over the past like year or so. I mean, in general, I guess it's not too crazy, but most people are going to struggle either on Dungeon Divers or they're going to struggle on Shard Pulls. So Summon Rushes and Champion Chases, right? That's where most people fail. Dungeon Divers or Summon Rush or Champ Chase. So that's going to be the problem, I feel like. And then Spider Tournaments coinciding with the last Dungeon Diver event. Artifact Enhancement, we have 3 of them as well. 1, 2, 3, starting on March 16th is the third one. Classic Arena Takedown, anybody should be able to do that with no problem whatsoever. You really shouldn't have an issue with this. Champ Chase, I mean, if you have saved, for example, again, I'm just going to showcase this really quickly, but you should get used to saving champions to fuse into Relic Keeper like this. I don't know why I haven't been able to summon or get any of this chick from, what's it called? One of the campaign stages. This stage right here. Durham Forest. So you can get her from here. It's just a little bit difficult for her to drop. I've been getting a lot of Satyrs and a lot of this guy, Greybeard, but I haven't been getting her, which really stinks. So I would recommend going forward, if you haven't started doing it, start saving those champions for fusing into the Broadmaw and into the Relic Keeper. Now, let's say, for example, you just don't have the other champions. Then consider try to fuse a bunch of these into these Void Rares, which will give you 50 points each for the Champ Chase. So that's 1. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 3. So I can do at least 3 of these. So that's 150 points. Then here, that's 3, 3, 3, 3. I could do 3 of these. That's 300 points. And then I have 1 of these. So that's 1 Broadmaw. That's another 350. So that's 650 points right there for Champ Chase. And then like I said, going on to Relic Keeper, same thing. I just need to fuse a few of these guys, Justicar. And then I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. Yeah, 3 of these guys. So I could probably fuse at least 2 of these guys once I get to the fusion. So yeah, and again, Justicar is a void, so you're going to get another 50 points there. And then you're going to get more points for fusing into him, which is 250 points. So just a reminder to do that. So let's go back here really quickly. So yeah, so you kind of, I don't know if there's extra. There is a Heroes Path event, which is going to be at the end of this guy's fusion, towards the end. So it's going to be starting on the 18th. And it's going to go extra 50 of them. So you can skip, potentially, if you wanted to, you could skip 2 Dungeon Divers. But then you'd have to go for the Heroes Path. And the Heroes Path is not usually easy to complete, especially since it's going to feature Soul Stones. And people just pulled a ton of Soul Stones. You're probably depleted of Soul Stones, which means you won't have enough resources for Soul Stones, which are going to get you the most points, right, for that Heroes Path. So it does say summon champions from shards as well. And luckily, oh man, it's looking like it's going to end or start right when the Champ Chase is starting or ending. Wow. Champ Chase is ending, Heroes Path starts. So I don't know if it's going to cut into the ending of Champ Chase. So you might want to consider, if Champ Chase is going till Monday, save your shards until Monday to pull for Champ Chase when Heroes Path starts, if you're going to decide to skip any of these events or tournaments for 25 of the fragments. But again, you won't really know when the Heroes Path starts until you see it in game, like truly what time it's going to be. It looks like it's going to, like Champ Chase looks really like it's going to finish and then Heroes Path is going to start. So I don't think you're going to be able to pull during Champ Chase, but I could be wrong. You might be able to. I guess just pay attention in game just in case. It kind of looks like it's kind of, coincide with it at the end, but I don't know for sure. So don't bank on it. Don't bank on it. That's all I can say. But again, if you do bank on it, then you can just skip out on Dungeon Divers. That would probably be the easiest to do. So yeah, not too bad. I think I'll be able to get this guy no problem, but you can't miss out on anything if you're not going to be able to complete the Heroes Path. Again, Heroes Path is probably going to be very difficult for most players if they've utilized all their Soul Stones. They pulled them all, and now you're not going to have any Soul Stones left. So unless you pay a little bit of money, if you're a spender, you might be out of luck with getting those extra 50 points. So then that could make or break your chance to get ARMANZ the Magnificent. So anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in comments down below. Are you going to be going for ARMANZ the Magnificent? If you are, good luck. You can't miss anything, really. Again, I wouldn't bank on Heroes Path unless you absolutely have to. But again, you should have saved some of your Soul Stones and not pulled them all during this recent 2x awakening. It's actually still going on, but you shouldn't have pulled them all. That's all I have to say. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you on a video soon. Take care.